There are certain sentences that don't just sound like words. They echo. They hit the air like a whisper. But once they reach you, they carry weight you can't shake off. Words are powerful. They can heal, inspire, and transform. But they can also destroy, manipulate, and trap you before you even realize what's happening. When it comes to relationships, especially romantic ones, some words aren't just words. They're warnings. They're like tiny cracks in a beautiful glass. Invisible at first, but given enough time, the whole thing shatters. Picture this. You're sitting across from a man you really like. Maybe it's your first date, maybe your 10th. There's candlelight, laughter, a sense of safety. You're leaning in, totally present, and then he says something, a small phrase, almost playful. Everyone else would shrug it off. You might even laugh in the moment, but deep inside something twists. That subtle tightening in your chest, that's not paranoia. That's your intuition, the most ancient survival tool you possess, and it's screaming at you to listen. Here's what most people get wrong. Red flags aren't usually bright red. They don't come waving in the wind with dramatic music playing in the background. The real danger is quiet. It hides behind charm, humor, and charisma. The men who cause the most harm rarely walk up to you and announce, "Hey, I'm going to ruin your peace." Instead, they reveal themselves one sentence at a time. A little comment here, a joke there, a subtle hint of entitlement that's easy to miss until it's not. And by the time you do see it, it's often too late. The love has grown, the bond has formed, and the part of you that wants to give people the benefit of the doubt starts making excuses. You replay conversations in your head, telling yourself, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe he didn't mean it like that. Let me be blunt, the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it is to get out. That's why learning to recognize these verbal warning signs early is not just a good idea. It's an act of self-defense. Maybe you've been here before. You told a friend about something your boyfriend or partner said, and they brushed it off. Oh, he was just stressed. You're overthinking it. I'm sure he didn't mean it like that, but you knew better. That little voice inside you, the one you sometimes silence because it feels inconvenient, has been right every single time. That voice is here to keep you safe. And today, we're going to amplify it. This isn't about hating men or assuming the worst in everyone. It's about awareness, because when you know what to look for, you can protect yourself without closing your heart entirely. You can still believe in love, just not at the expense of your well-being. There are 5 specific phrases, 5 subtle sentences. That should make you stop in your tracks. They might sound ordinary, even harmless. They might come wrapped in love, affection, or even laughter. But make no mistake, when a man says any of these, it's a glimpse behind the mask. These aren't just words. They're early signs of control, manipulation, or lack of respect. Today, we're going to break them down one by one so you can recognize them instantly. Because when you know better, you do better. And the sooner you see the truth, the faster you can walk away before more damage is done. But first, I want you to make a promise to yourself right now to never again ignore your intuition. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Trust that inner wisdom, even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. And if you've ever stayed too long in a relationship that drained you, if you've ever wished you'd walked away sooner, then hit that subscribe button now. This channel is all about giving you the tools to protect your energy, your heart, and your future. Think of it as saying yes to yourself and to the love you truly deserve. All right, now let's talk about the very first red flag, the phrase that sounds so sweet, so loving that most people don't even question it, but hidden beneath its surface is something deeply dangerous. When you hear it, don't explain it away. Don't wait for proof. Don't negotiate. This is the moment you get up and go. And once you understand why, you'll never ignore it again. The first phrase sounds almost like a compliment, and that's what makes it so tricky. He looks you in the eyes and says, "You're the only good thing in my life." On the surface, it feels romantic. You might even blush thinking, wow, I must really mean something to him. But here's the truth hiding underneath. When someone tells you that you are their only source of happiness, they are also telling you that they aren't responsible for their own emotional well-being. In the beginning, it feels flattering. Over time, it becomes a trap. Because if you ever try to set boundaries, if you ever say no, if you ever need space, he can twist that love into guilt. Suddenly, your choices are no longer about your well-being. They're about whether or not he falls apart. You're no longer a partner. You've become a lifeline. And if you try to pull away, he'll make you feel like you're a terrible person for even thinking about it. Healthy love is a partnership, not a hostage situation. When you hear this phrase, it's a sign that he's handing you responsibility for his happiness, and that's a weight you'll never be able to carry without losing yourself. If a man truly loves you, he'll show you that you add joy to his life, not that you're the only thing keeping it together. The second phrase is even more subtle but equally dangerous. If you really loved me, you would... Let's stop right there. Whenever someone uses your love as a bargaining chip, they're not expressing care and they're manipulating you. This sentence is designed to make you question yourself, to make you feel like proving your worth means compromising your values. It starts small. Maybe he says, if you really loved me, you'd cancel plans with your friends tonight. You brush it off, thinking it's no big deal, but then it escalates. If you really loved me, you wouldn't talk to that coworker. If you really loved me, you wouldn't bring up things that upset me. Suddenly, your world gets smaller and smaller until your entire life revolves around avoiding his disapproval. Here's the thing. Love doesn't come with ultimatums. True love encourages freedom, trust, and mutual respect. If someone makes you prove your love by shrinking yourself, that's not love, it's control. The third phrase is one that often comes wrapped in humor, which makes it harder to call out. It's when he jokes about you in a way that feels off. Maybe he calls you crazy in front of friends or makes a funny comment about your insecurities. You laugh along because everyone else is laughing, but deep down you feel that sting. Here's why this matters. When someone consistently disguises disrespect as humor, they're showing you how they really see you. It's like a test. They want to see how much you'll tolerate, how much they can get away with before you push back. Pay attention to those moments. If he dismisses your feelings with, relax, it was just a joke, that's not a joke, that's gaslighting. Healthy partners don't make sport of your vulnerabilities. They protect them. Now let's talk about why these first 3 red flags are so interconnected. They all rely on confusion. Confusion is the enemy of clarity. When you're confused, you second-guess yourself. You replay conversations in your mind, wondering if you're too sensitive or too demanding. Meanwhile, he stays in control because while you're busy doubting yourself, he never has to examine his own behavior. I've worked with countless women who said, I wish I'd trusted myself sooner. The signs were always there. The words were always spoken, but they told themselves a story that made it easier to stay. Here's what I want you to take from this. Your body knows before your mind does. If you feel tense, drained, or anxious after a conversation, pay attention. That's not an accident. Your nervous system is literally warning you that something is wrong. And if you're starting to realize that you've heard one of these phrases before, maybe even recently, I want you to remember something powerful. You are allowed to walk away. You don't owe anyone endless chances. You don't have to explain why something feels wrong to people who don't see what you see. Before we dive into the final 2 red flags, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Think of someone you know, a sister, a friend, maybe even your younger self, who deserves to hear this message. If you want to spread awareness and create a world where women trust themselves and protect each other, share this video with them right now, because silence keeps people stuck, but truth sets them free. All right, now that you're ready, let's move into the last 2 phrases, the ones that are the most manipulative of all. These are the words that can disguise themselves as love while quietly eroding your confidence, your independence, and your ability to see clearly. Once you hear them, you'll never forget them, and when they show up, you'll know exactly what to do. The 4th phrase is the one that often feels like a warm embrace at first. It's soft, it's tender, and it sneaks under your defenses because it sounds like deep devotion. He says, I can't live without you. Your heart skips a beat. Movies, love songs, romance novels, they've all told you this is the ultimate declaration of love. But here's the reality. It's not love, it's dependency. When someone says they can't live without you, what they're really telling you is that they will not take responsibility for their own growth, healing, or happiness. It's like handing you a heavy backpack full of their wounds, fears, and unmet needs and expecting you to carry it every single day. And at first, you might feel strong enough to do it. But over time, the weight becomes unbearable. This is how relationships slide into toxicity without either person fully realizing it. Think about it. A healthy partner will choose to be with you every single day, not because they can't function without you, but because they want to grow alongside you. The difference between I love you and I can't live without you is the difference between partnership and possession. One celebrates freedom, the other chains you to their survival. If you hear this phrase early in a relationship, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this connection built on mutual respect? Or am I being cast in the role of savior? Because here's the hard truth. If someone believes they can't live without you, they'll do whatever it takes to keep you, even if it means controlling you. Now, the fifth and final phrase. This one is often delivered in a calm, almost casual tone, which makes it even more chilling. He looks at you and says, "You'll never find anyone like me." At first, you might think, well, that's kind of true. Everyone is unique. But that's not what he means. What he's really saying is, I want you to believe that your options are limited, that leaving me would be a mistake, that you should feel lucky to have me even when I treat you badly. This phrase is psychological warfare. It plants seeds of doubt in your mind, making you second-guess your worth. It makes you feel like maybe you're too picky, too emotional, too complicated, and that no one else would get you the way he does. It's designed to keep you small, to keep you compliant, to keep you stuck. Here's the truth he doesn't want you to know. There are millions of people in this world who would treat you with kindness, respect, and genuine love. You are not hard to love. You've just been loving someone who benefits from making you believe otherwise. When you hear this phrase, treat it like a siren blaring in your ears. It's not a compliment, it's a confession. He's admitting that he knows his behavior doesn't deserve you, so he's trying to trap you with fear instead of inspiring you with love. Let's take a step back and see the bigger picture. All 5 of these phrases, from "you're the only good thing in my life" to "you'll never find anyone like me," have one thing in common. They blur the line between love and control. They create confusion so you'll stay quiet, compliant, and questioning yourself. But now you have the clarity to see through the fog. You are not powerless, you are not unworthy, and you are certainly not destined to carry someone else's brokenness as your life's mission. You deserve a relationship where love feels expansive, where trust grows naturally, and where words are used to uplift, not to entangle. So here's what I want you to do. Replay these 5 red flags in your mind, not to dwell on the pain, but to strengthen your awareness. If you've heard even one of these phrases, don't ignore it. Your intuition is speaking to you louder than his words ever could. And here's a promise. The moment you choose to honor your own worth, the universe begins to rearrange itself to support you. New opportunities appear, healthier connections find their way to you. But it all starts with this decision, to never again settle for love that feels like captivity, disguised as romance. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Think of the women who are still stuck in confusion, wondering if they're overreacting or too sensitive. By sharing, you're not just helping one person, you're creating a ripple effect of awareness and empowerment. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you never miss these life-changing conversations. Together we can build a world where love is never about control, but about freedom and growth. Remember, the words you accept shape the life you live. Choose carefully, and never, ever forget. Real love doesn't make you question your value. It celebrates it.